Blues fans, Zola is out and Redknapp is in. What a 48 hours for our club. I've never known anything like it, and we need to walk and talk about it. We came out of that Burton game having lost 2-0, thinking to ourselves, we're going down. We heard soon after that Zola had resigned, in no small part due, in my opinion, to the way that the fans turned on him. And that gave us a small glimmer of hope on Monday night as we thought to ourselves, yeah, let's maybe get Robbo in there as caretaker manager. He could lift the team. And to find out the next morning that we've got Harry Redknapp. Wow. What an appointment. I'm very, very happy. It's a stark contrast for me to the day we appointed Zola. Redknapp is exactly what we need at this moment. He's everything Zola wasn't. He's a man with a wealth of experience in England, in this division. He's been there and done it. He knows what this division and this club is all about. He's a man who's a natural born leader. He's a character. He's a vibrant personality. He's someone that can walk into a room and just lift the place. He's outgoing. He's got real people skills. I thought that Zola was a little bit shy as a human being, to be honest with you, and I think that means that as nice a man as he is, he's not cut out for management, especially in a topsy-turvy situation like the one he walked into. But Redknapp is someone that you listen to and you want to follow. He's a man that can talk the talk, and that is half the battle in football management, in my opinion. Players will want to listen to him. He'll talk to them on their level, and he'll have them right at it. I'm very confident about that. And he'll do something that Zola never did. Harry is going to get the fans on side from day one. He already has. He is going to be brilliant with us. He'll build a rapport. In 3 games, he'll build a bigger rapport than what Zola ever could have done at Blues. As Tony Routley said on the video after the Burton game, this is the working man's club. We are a very traditional English working class club, and you can't take that away from us. Harry knows this, and he'll come in and he'll speak our language. And I don't just mean English, I mean proper football English. Harry is a man that relates to your average football fan. There's a great story from when he was at West Ham and they played a pre-season friendly at Oxford City. There was a West Ham fan in the crowd behind the dugout giving it large, and Harry turned to him. He said, "What size boots are you, son?" Next thing you knew, he was subbing the fan on at half-time, and this fan got to play the full second half of this pre-season friendly. Now, how many managers would ever do something like that? Our Harry is special. He's going to relate to us as fans, and we're going to relate to him, and I really think we're going to love him. He did his first interview after taking the job on TalkSport, and when he was asked about why Birmingham, one of the first things he said was Birmingham are a proper football club. Now, you know what? He's shown with that one sentence there that he grasps our club better than Zola ever did. We're not one of your Brightons, your Readings, your Watfords. We're Blues. I said when Zola was appointed that Rowett knew we were Blues. Zola didn't have a clue. Redknapp, just like Rowett, he knows. These are the most basic of things that I'm talking about here. Having an understanding of the club that you're at. And Harry is going to get those things right from the start. Now, he's been working with a company called BetSafe lately, and he did his first proper sit-down interview after taking the job with them, and I recommend that you all go and have a look at it on YouTube. It again gives you a great sense of the man he is, a proper football man who knows our club. And I'm going to read out to you one of the quotes from that interview. He said, "There's certain clubs that are interesting. When people ask me, I've got some people who want to buy a football club, who should I look at? I always put Birmingham in there as one of those clubs that is a big club." Now, you might just say, oh, of course he's going to say that. He wants to appeal to the fans. Well, actually, no, that's not the case. Because when he was QPR manager, he actually seemed to go out of his way to compliment us. Called us a big club, a sleeping giant. People who know English football would all agree with him. That is the kind of club we are. A big club, a proper club. A club that has been on the precipice of achieving big things, but never actually been able to quite get over the edge. We are a club that is recognised by football people as having a certain tradition. Harry is going to embrace it, and I just can't wait to get it rolling. And it gets even better, because he was on 5 Live last night, and would you believe it, he knows all the words to Keep Right On. I heard that and my heart melted. This right here, in my opinion, is a match made in football heaven. Us and Harry. I'm so excited. I just hope it all works out for the best. And I hope that he keeps us up and he's still here next season and he becomes an absolute Blues legend, because this has got all the makings of it. And sure enough, he's never had a challenge quite like this before, coming in with 3 games left. But we all know about his achievements in the game. He's got everything we could ask for in a manager. Now look, his track record isn't perfect, we know that. But I think when you've been in the game as long as he has, of course you're going to have stains on your resume. Some Blues fans are focusing on the negatives. Some Blues fans are still giving Panos stick for not sacking Zola sooner. And I get that. You know what I thought about Zola if you've watched my previous vlogs. But I've got to give Panos and the board credit on this one. I was critical of the Zola appointment, so it's only fair that I give praise where I think it's due. They wasted no time, and hours after Zola walked, they had an agreement with their man. And it's not just Redknapp that we've got. We've got Steve Cottrell as his right-hand man. This again is a man with a wealth of football knowledge, a man with experience as a manager. He's been there and done it. He did it with Bristol City in League One. And God forbid if we go down to League One, he'll be a good man to have at the helm. I really think this is a bit of a coup for us. As Blues, in the position that we're in the state that we're in, 3 points off the relegation zone, with the worst goal difference of all the clubs around us, with 3 games to go against really tough opposition. To get this management team in, we have outdone ourselves. I'm very, very happy. And this appointment has left the football world buzzing. I couldn't believe it. I tuned into TalkSport and I'm hearing my name mentioned, talking about my vlog on Zola and how he failed to connect with the fans and how Redknapp will be the opposite. On Twitter we've got the likes of Piers Morgan, Gary Lineker, and God knows who else talking about us. Harry comes in and he is immediately one of the biggest names, one of the most prestigious names, and one of the biggest media personalities in the Championship, and that is an asset. Zola was the worst interview going in the Championship. I can't tell you how many times I heard things along the lines of, God, I'm going to slip my wrists if I watch one more Zola interview on the Blues YouTube channel. We've gone from that to one of the best interviews going. Harry Redknapp, a man you want to hear talk about football. And Harry says if we don't stay up, he won't be paid a penny. It's only 2 weeks out of my life, he says. It wouldn't be the end of the world. When has this ever happened before? A manager coming in and basically offering to work for free. Of course, he'll get a payment if we stay up. 250,000 allegedly. But he'll be worth every penny if he does the business. Now, he's had his first training session with the players this morning. But as of yesterday, he admitted he hadn't watched us play this season. He knew nothing about our side. He said in that interview with BetSafe, if you asked me to pick an 11, I wouldn't be able to do it. So as much as he knows about us as a club, he doesn't know much about us as a side currently. There's an element of madness to it, bringing in a manager who hasn't watched you play all season. But it's exciting, I tell you what, it's a bit balmy. I like it. It's a bit Blues. There's an element of Barry Fry to it. Another legend at the club, another larger-than-life personality. People like that do succeed at Blues. I said it on Twitter yesterday. We could be in League One next season, or we could be in the Premier League by 2018. Honestly, you just can't predict it. And what is more Blues than that? This is going to be a hell of a ride. But let's not get too carried away just yet. It's all about these 3 games coming up, and then we can reassess. It's a 3-week period, and it could determine our future for a long time to come. I think we need 3 points, maybe 4. So he's got 3 weeks to win 1 game, which is something Zola could only manage once every 2.5 months. Win 1 game, and we should be safe. Win at Villa Park on Sunday, and the scenes will be out of this world, and Harry Redknapp will go down as an instant Blues hero. Those are the stakes. It doesn't get any bigger than this. Villa Park on Sunday, the second city derby, the greatest derby in football, with all due respect to West Ham Millwall and Newcastle Sunderland that are both right up there. But this is Harry's kind of game. He will be relishing this. He's managed in the North London derby, which is about 20% as vicious as this will be. So he's got an idea of what to expect. And he's also got a little bit of a history with Villa fans whose behaviour he was not too happy with a few years back. Coin throwing for no reason. We can't condone it. And not that the players should need any motivating at all for this one, but he will have them right up for it. And more importantly, I think, he'll have them feeling good about themselves for the first time in many, many weeks. He will have them coming out there with their heads held high, with their chests puffed out, well up for it. Harry will be reminding them, I've got no doubt about it, that it wasn't all that long ago, just 5 months, that many of these same players played Villa and went toe-to-toe with them. And arguably, we should have won that day. There's no reason why we can't rekindle that kind of performance and belief. As a fan, I just miss having that sense of knowing the players out there have got a clue what they're doing, rather than second-guessing themselves. It's been horrible to watch at times. Players that have been really good for us all of a sudden looking like fish out of water. But hopefully now, that is all over. Let's go to Villa Park, let's do the business, let's do ourselves proud regardless of the result. And of course, this would not be a Davo vlog if I didn't let you enjoy some of these scenes right here. Take a look at that. I really believe that we are going to look back on this as a big day in the history of Blues. The day we appointed Harry Redknapp and said, enough is enough. Let's stop messing around and get back to what we are as a club. And let's move ourselves forward. Because as many of you have said, regardless of the club that you support, in the comment sections on YouTube and live on Periscope, Blues as a club and a fan base should not be where we are in this division. We should be fighting for promotion back to the Premier League and ultimately getting there. The Premier League needs clubs like us. Harry knows it. We're a proper club. You know it's peaks and valleys with us. It's joys and sorrows. But we've had enough sorrows now for a while. We've had a full winter of discontent. Enough discontent to last us for a few years, in my opinion. Let's get back on the straight and narrow. We've got 3 games now to show some fight, some togetherness, some team spirit, some pride, and a proper plan of action. A plan of action that has been missing for weeks. If anyone can instill those things at such short notice, I think it's Harry. I really do. Honestly, I'm ready to run through a brick wall for him already. And he hasn't even done his opening press conference yet. What a man he is. And I tell you what a club we are. It had to be a special club to bring him out of retirement, and we are that club. I'm telling you, it really is a match made in football heaven. Now, you'll all remember what I said about Zola. I said if this goes bad, it could go really bad. I don't know if I thought it would go quite this bad, but that is now in the past and we are moving forward. And you know what I'm going to say? If this goes good, it could go really good. Up the Blues!